Hi there and alali ho! Welcome to a video about White Mage. That's right, the first healer and the most comfortable healer, White Mage. Gotta love it. Right. Welcome to the King's Domain. Right. White Mage, there's a decent amount to it, but it is the most basic of the healers. It's pretty much a pure healer sort of thing. It's got the odd shield, but it's very much on a quick get your HP up. Right. I'm gonna start off with the basics. Cure 1. Right. Basic single target heal. It also has a 15% chance to proc a no MP cost Cure 2. Good luck with this. It's low chance. There we go, got the proc. Free cure. The proc lasts for 15 seconds and it makes Cure 2 completely free to cast. So just do that. Then Cure 2 is a more potent single target heal. Now that proc is more useful at lower levels than it is at higher levels. At higher levels, Cure 1 doesn't really heal as much as you need for a given situation. You're generally using Cure 2 more than Cure 1. But at lower levels, it's really good. Right, Medica is your AoE heal. As my chocobo will attest, we both get healed. That's your basic heal. Right, Thin Air, which you get at levels 58. Ooh, they lowered that from Stormblood. But Thin Air basically makes all your GCD, well, all your casts cost 3 mana. So nothing costs, not your healing, not your DPS. So there we are, that's Thin Air. Right, Medica 2, AoE regen. Does a small potency heal, but then it's got a decent potency hot for 15 seconds on everyone. It's got quite a big range, but there is a range to it, so you will have to be aware of that range when you're in duties. Right, regen is a single target hot, or heal over time. It's more powerful than Medica 2, but you can stack the regens together. And look at that lovely regen. And both the regens can crit as well. So really nice on that. Right, Benediction is an off global cooldown and it heals 100% of your target's HP. It doesn't matter how high your target's HP goes up, it will fully restore them their HP, just straight up. Right, Benediction does have a bit of a delay to it, so you do need to be aware of that. It will not go off straight away. So if you say you're in like 60 con and you see them go down to like 1k and you get a Benediction, do it quick, because the longer you try and delay it, the more likely they're gonna die because of the delay. Just beware of that delay on Benediction. Tetragrammaton is a single target off global cooldown. So there we are. Quite a nice one. You'll be using it often when you get it, especially in between DPS spells. Right, Asylum is a ground targeted AoE that does a regen over time. At 70A, it gets a secondary trait where it increases healing with it while target's in it. So if we do that, where I'll get this, and then in here, 25. Oh, but yeah. Right. So Asylum is hot on the ground. It's ground based. And anyone in there will receive that hot. It's on a slightly different timer to your other regens, but they can all stack together, so you can have a lot of hots going or healing over time going at the same time. So really useful to do that. Size is a wide AoE heal and damage to your enemy. So it heals me, and it will also damage enemies. This also restores some of your MP. This one is really useful to use the moment your tank has aggro and everything. Use it on cooldown, because that is just going to help with your MP casting, as well as just dealing damage, heal. Just use it on cooldown. It is really useful. Raise is raise the dead. If someone's dead, raise. Asuna is Asuna, just gets rid of the debuffs. Cure Free. Now, Cure Free is a targeted, tiny AoE around that target. As you see, me and the Chocobo got healed. But you need to be within close distance with your target, because or else you won't get healed, or whoever, or the group that you're trying to heal with a Cure Free. Anyway, Cure Free is a very potent close range AoE heal. Good for when your group has to stack for mechanics and other situations like that. Temperance is a buff, 20-second buff that gives it reduces damage taken as well as increases your healing potencies. So everything now heals more while you got Temperance on, and people will also be taking less damage at the same time. It's 10% reduction. Temperance is level 80 skill, so not getting that for a long while. Sorry to say. Presence of Mind increases your speed at which you cast things. So, like that. Just for the duration of it, it just increases feeling. You can use it on healing, or you can use it on DPS. Most of the time you'll be using it on DPS over healing, but as you're learning, you'll probably be using it more on healing than you will thing. The Divine Benison is a single target shield. Lasts for 30 seconds, 15 seconds, lasts for 15 seconds, whoops. And it's just it gives them a mini shield that can be used for tank busters, or if you know someone's going to die before you can get a heal out. It's off global cooldown, so you can weave it in between casts, or you can weave it in between DPS or whatever. Wait. Fluid Aura is a bind, does no damage, only really useful for, you know, binding a mob if they're chasing you and it's gonna kill you. So just let it go. Planetary Indulgence. Now this interacts with all your AoE spells, so Medica 2, Cure 3, as well as Afflatus Rapture. Now I'll go into the Afflatus skills in a little bit, but Planetary Indulgence will proc an extra heal whenever you use your AoE spells. Planetary Indulgence will go on everyone around you for 10 seconds. So it is good for very quick burst AoE healing. Right. Dia is also Aero at lower levels, and Glare is Stone at lower levels. Dia is single target dot, does an initial damage, so it can potentially miss monsters that are higher level than you. In dungeons and other instances, you don't have to worry about this. You'll be at least equal to the level, so you can't miss. But in overworld, if you are attacking things above your level, you could potentially miss with Dia. So beware of that. Glare is single target damage, or Glare Stone is single target damage. Just no dot, just straight damage. Like you have seen here. Right, Holy is your AoE damage. You want to use this because it also stuns enemies. The first time is for about 4 to 5 seconds. Second time is for like 2 seconds, and the third time is like another 1 second. So you get about 7 to 8 seconds worth of stun on your target. And this is AoE, so and it will affect everything that's in that AoE. Swift Cast is basically allows you to get your next spell off immediately. Like that. You generally want to save Swift Cast for rares, or if you need to do a bit of movement and when everyone's fine, you could just do that for the DPS or quick heal if you need to do anything on the move. Lucid Dreaming is the same as it is on Astro and Scholar, where it gives you back MP. Repose, it puts your opponents to sleep if they're susceptible to it, no damage. Rescue is draw a party member close to you, only works in combat, and it doesn't work on chocobos unfortunately, but it does work on other party members. Please don't kill your other party members with Rescue. White Mage has some of the best MP management with Lucid Dreaming, Thin Air and a Size all combined. Right. Short Cast basically prevents the next knockback or pull-in effect that might affect you. It's got a short duration, so again pop it when you know it's going to be happening within that duration, or else you got to deal with the mechanic properly. Limit Break is Limit Break. Every job has it. Limit Break is basically just at level LB1 is a small heal, not worth it. LB2 is a bigger heal, again still not worth it. LB3 is a full party. It's a full party res and full heal, but it does have a range on LB3. So if you're in one corner and someone's in another corner, you're not reaching the other corner if they're dead or healing. So try to position yourself alright for LB3. You may occasionally have to use LB3 for if things are going really wrong in instances, but good luck. You should never need to use LB1 or LB2. So avoid it. Avoid just pressing it at all if you're dealing with either of those two limit breaks. Right, now lilies, which if you see the glowing blue flowers on my bar next to my map. They accumulate every 30 seconds while you're in combat. It does say between combats in the overworlds, and it does keep going so long as you got aggro on something. But basically, to spend the lilies, the blue lilies, you will either use a Afflatus Solace or a Afflatus Raptured. Solace is a single target heal. It's on the GCD, but it's instant cast. It's very powerful, very useful. Every time you use a lily, it will nourish the blood lily. To fully open the blood lily, you have to use 3 blue lilies. Alright, and once you used all 3, it will open. You'll get like a small ping saying it's done. And once you have all 3, you'll be given access to Afflatus Misery. Now this is an AoE damage spell and your hardest hitting move as a white mage. So just watch. 43k, and that's no crit, no direct hit. Now compare it to Glare. 14 to 15k. So it is by far your biggest damage spell that you want to be using. But you have to use those GCD heals. So it's worked out that unless you need to use those heals, it's better to be casting 4 glares over using those heals for the misery. But if you're in an AoE situation, absolutely use those GCD heals, because the misery will deal far more damage than the rest. Okay. Now, gonna try and go over big pulls in dungeons like tanks love to do. If the tank is properly rotating their cooldowns, you won't have to go through all of yours, but we'll try and go with the worst-ish case scenario. Basically, as the tank is pulling their mobs, the first group of mobs, try and get a few deers on them to work a bit of damage on them. So try and get a few deers. As they're still pulling that first pack, put a Divine Venison on them. This will get the cooldown, because it's only got 30 seconds. If the pull lasts too long, you could get a potential second Divine Venison on there, which will help with healing, because they're not taking as much damage while Divine Venison is on them. Once they have fully pulled everything and in place, put down Asylum and give them a quick regen. After that, between the regen GCD, do a 5. And if they do need, a good quick heal, because again, worst case scenario, they might not be popping cooldowns, Cure 2. This is high end content. Now I'm sort of doing this, but Cure 2, and during that, swift cast Holy. Make sure you're within the melee range of them, because Holy is based around you. This will stun them for the 4 seconds. This gives you an option to either, if you need to heal, quick heal, try and use, in a big pool, try and use a Afflatus Solace first, and then do another Holy. This will then give you the next stun, and then straight after that, do another one. After the third Holy, get the Tetragrammaton if they need to, if it's still looking really, really bad, Presence of Mind's Temperance. And then just Cure 2 spam, do Divine Benison as it's going off, keep your regen up, asides, and hope it dies before you run out. If you don't need to use Temperance and so forth, and they got another big pull, they're planning to do another big pull, that's when you use the Temperance, so that they get increased healing while taking reduced damage, and again keep Divine Benison on them until the boss. At the boss, you really want to save it for tank busters after the first beginning part. But you want to, when you're out, you're off global cooldowns, you want to be using Afflacious Solace and Afflacious Misery, Afflacious Rapture when it's an AoE situation. Misery is really good for big pulls. If you can, even if you have one, say the boss is on, if you're after a boss, or if during the boss it's on 5% and you're like about to get the Blood Lily, proc that Blood Lily and save it for the next mass pull, because that will be huge damage very quickly. Right. Mana or MP wise on mass pulls, you want to use Lucid Dreaming at around about 8.5k MP. You're using the size on cooldown, so you're always going to be generating that 500 MP. If it's going on a bit too long and you're dipping down to about 6k after that, Thin Air, and use Thin Air to recover your MP a bit more. Asai should be coming back, and then Lucid Dreaming will be coming back as soon after that as well. So you should have more than enough mana, unless the pull goes on ridiculously long, at which case there's a problem with the DPS in your party. You don't want to save Benediction for absolute last minute. You want to try and use it regularly within the dungeon. If you're uncomfortable with DPSing, then use it around about 10%. If you are comfortable with the DPSing, use it between 10 to 20. Just keep your tank up. Don't let them drop too low. Don't make your tank panic. People, really skilled healers will lower the amount before they start using all their skills, but as newer healer, try and not let your tank drop below 10% if you can help it. I would make 10% your limit, and then as you're getting more and more skilled, maybe lowering it before you start using all your skills. But do beware, don't panic your tanks. It's unfair to panic your tanks. When it comes to DPS all over the goddamn place, I'll give the best advice I can. Either they get closer to you, especially when you're needing to AoE heal, or well, die. Or you'll have to try and go over there and try and heal them. You can't do much when they're like that. But as a healer, prioritize healing first, and then go into the DPS afterwards. But you do need to work on building up your DPS, like throwing out stuff, contribute through damage, because there will come a time where you feel like you don't need to heal. You just feel like you have no need to heal that much, and you just need to nuke. The faster something dies, the less damage you take. White Mage is quite the more simple healer to pick up. It's also quite fun, especially at high level at the moment. It's very, very powerful, and I hope encourages you to go for it. It also has a unicorn mount that that you can go for after finishing the level 30 Conjurer quest, so there's a little incentive for Conjurer. So I'll just show off the mount. Where's the unicorn? There is the unicorn. Is. Yeah, this you can only get this if you do Conjurer, which is the class before White Mage. Well, it's the class that upgrades to White Mage. Right, I hope this has been a rather helpful tips video. I'm not the greatest healer in the world or anything, but these are the basic stuff to try and help people get into the job. I hope you all enjoy White Mage. It is a little bit of fun for me every so often, and I especially like doing like a ping pong yo-yo with HP bars, but I'm way more seasoned in healing. And with all of that, I like to bid you a thank you and a goodbye.